bro. How you been?
I've been chilling, bro. You know, just playing too much Street Fighter lately in particular. That's what I've been doing.
Yeah, I think I've seen your tweets posting about Street Fighter and how much better it is than Smash, and I believe it, bro. Let's talk about the first thing. Surprisingly, they got a Street Fighter in there too. CEO 2023. I know this one was like a month ago, like a few months ago already. So, but it still feels kind of fresh. It still feels kind of important. And whoa, tell me a little bit about your CEO 2023 run.
So that one was interesting. So I'm not gonna lie, I went into that one and I was expecting not to do well there. I'm gonna keep it straight with you because like I didn't practice Smash at all between like combo break like for a while. Like I didn't practice Smash for like a month before CEO. So I went in there. I'm like, this would be a good thing to get back into Smashy Bros. I guess I'll probably like underperform my seed because I'm not practicing. And like there was a bracket where it's like I had to fight Jake, and it's like Steve is scary. I had to fight like Toast, and like he was a practice partner of mine, so I was like he could beat me. I ran into Riddles, and I'm like, oh god, it's freaking Kazuya. Can we just not do this? But yeah, no. So I went into I was like, this is gonna be a rough bracket. And I guess I didn't have expectations of myself because I wasn't like practicing. So winning, I was just like, okay then. I'm practicing Street Fighter. I don't really care right now. I guess I could just beat Riddles now. Like after that, when that was and for the most part I ran through a bracket besides when I fought Riddles, right? Like I destroyed everyone else. Apollo Kage was like it took a game and I just beat him with Rosa. I fought Yor and I destroyed. He beat me one game, but then I was just like, nope. But it was actually a surprisingly easy bracket except for the Riddle set. And the Riddle set was interesting because that as I was playing, I was kind of thinking to myself, every time I get hit, okay, I got hit here. I'm never interacting with Kazuya again in this moment. And my idea when I was playing in Grand Finals was specifically to find out a way to like only fight in spots where I can't be hit or a Luma can combo break me. Which is kind of a thing I've been working on in general with Rosa. Is just like, how do I make it so Luma saves me anytime I get hit in all these positions and like turn me getting hit into good positions for me? And I think that really showcased itself at Combo Breaker in all those sets where it's, like all those Kazuya situations. Like, oh, it hit me. And Luma's like, nope, you can't do that. So yeah, that was my, not Combo Breaker, my CEO run. But yeah, that was just like my thoughts on it. I also did poorly in Street Fighter, went 3-2, which is technically above average. But I was like, all right, that's pretty good considering I'm new to the game. So I was very happy with it overall. I love FGC/Smash events. I just like the vibes there anyway. So it's also just a genuinely fun event for me to go to every year.
Nice. CEO is always a very fun event. Like the entrance for top 8 and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, like you started talking about an important topic here. Riddles. Your set against Riddles have always been pretty hard. Of course, you guys are from the same team, so I imagine kind of like you guys know what's gonna happen when you both play each other, right? So I feel like he was kind of your bracket demon for a while. So how did it feel to, I mean, not only win CEO, but also beating Riddles, like you mentioned, which was pretty hard?
I honestly definitely felt really good because, for like a year or two straight, I just couldn't beat him. No, the worst thing about fighting Riddles was it wasn't that I couldn't beat him, it's that it would be game 5 every time. I think if you look at every one of our sets, except for the grand finals of CEO, every single one of our sets beforehand was like game 5. So that's the most frustrating thing. When you know you can beat someone, when you know you're so close, but every time you get out clutched, and it's like, But yeah, no, we play each other a lot. And even in our friendlies, it doesn't go back and forth. It goes very momentum based. When we play friendlies, some days he just beats me, and then some days I just beat him. And it's actually really rare we have a very even session. Which is kind of funny because then in brackets, it's always so close. But like even like in our last few sets, like Kagaribi, he was up 2 and then I reverse 3'd him. Like the momentum shifts really hard in one favor. CEO, he's up 4 games, resetting me in grands, and then I 3-0 him. And like when we play, it oftentimes feels like a matter of, am I getting my edge guards down, or is he outplaying my edge guards? Because if I get the edge guards down, he's dying like at 100 a lot, which is a big deal. And if I'm not, he's living to 180 and just Kazuing me. So it's really stressful. So winning, and like when I watched that set, I was like, yeah, I executed the advantage state properly, and I didn't get caught by his random BS. I didn't get tilted by the random Kazuya stuff as well. Because fighting Kazuya, it's so easy to get tilted, make one mistake, and just lose the game. So I would tell myself, like, as I'm playing, like, okay, I get hit, it's fine. Don't make a stupid mistake and get 0 death. Do not let him do that to you. So I think that playing him helps a lot with practicing my composure for that reason. So I was really happy to have my composure throughout the entire set.
Yeah, I mean, Kazuya is one of those characters that it doesn't let you play like the way you want and more, and like do
Thank
that
you for playing the game character.
like yeah, like exactly, dude. That tweet. But yeah, I mean, I imagine grand finals against Kazuya. I mean, dude, playing Kazuya is not my favorite thing. It's nobody's
Yeah,
favorite.
and it's like, it's a hard matchup for Rosa. I was like, Rosa might win it long term, but it's hard because I have to be perfect. But like, there's more room for me to be perfect than him. I know some people were saying I should have gone like Olimar or Minmin. I remember like when I was in that grand finals, I'm like, if I switch off of Rosa, my Minmin's gonna get farmed. That shit is crusty right now. And the Olimar can take like a game, but you could take a game with a character, but you're not gonna win the set with the character for sure. That's what I thought about Olimar. I'm like, if I go it might take a game, but it's gonna screw me over long term because I'm not gonna make the adjustments I need for the full set anyway.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying for sure. I play a lot of characters, so it's
Yeah.
hard to always choose like the best option. And like people tell you, hey, you should have gone this character, but they don't think about like the fact that you haven't really practiced that character and like you just
Yeah.
don't know the matchup or like like down to practice
Or
the matchup and stuff.
or like some matchups like really easy on paper, and then in bracket it's really hard because like when the nerves are there, you might not execute things you need to execute perfectly. Like as
Yeah,
Minmin should farm Kazuya, but if you mess up once, Kazuya literally zeroed out Minmin off like anything, like grabs in the corner, back throw, she's dead. Rising aerial can lead into like random stuff and you're dead. And like if you get stuck on a platform with Minmin, she's so slow in the air she can't jump off a platform and escape Kazuya's juggle pressure. So like she's dead if Kazuya literally gets below her on a platform. And like there's all these little things where it's like, yeah, she wins until you make that one little mistake or mess up one edge guard, which in bracket setting it's super scary, especially if you're rusty or just not enjoying a character too. Like there's something to be said for playing a character you're enjoying. And if I was not enjoying Minmin, and you understand that pain of like, I want to play this character. No, it's no fun. Let's not try.
Dude, yeah, they don't get it. But yeah, I was gonna ask you that. Did you just not enjoy Minmin at all, or like why don't you just play Minmin? Because like, I mean, not biased or anything. It's not because like Minmin is one of my worst matchups, but like your Minmin was good. Your Minmin yeah, it was very good. I don't know why like you're not using that character.
So there's a few reasons. One is just she's really not fun as you get into later stages of Ultimate, because like she gets like touch of death by a lot of characters randomly. Like almost any good character is a way to hit her at like sub 50% and set up an edge guard and make you guess. And if you guess wrong, you'll die. And like it's not even one of those things like, oh, I got hit in the wrong spot. It's like, oh, I got hit center screen on PS2 and I got carried to the side of the screen and now I'm guessing for my life. So as Ultimate gets older, I find that not that she's bad, but in a bracket setting, she's really scary to play. And I've played many characters who like can make mistakes in brackets and not die. So that's really hard to get used to. But also just made her not fun even in friendlies. Where like my friendly sessions would go like, oh, I'm winning because I didn't get edge guarded too. Oh, I get edge guarded once and I'm losing the friendly session because I get lose like one stock out of every 3 like at sub 100. I also find that going Minmin versus Japanese players, which have become more and more dominant lately, is really bad. Because Japan has too many freaking Minmins. I go to Japan Elite Smash, and I ran into, in a row, Steve, Kazuya, Minmin, Steve, Minmin, Kazuya. Like, you straight up just run into Minmins nonstop, and all the Minmins on Elite Smash are better than most of like the good American Minmins. Like, people like Dorigami, or obviously Proto Bonham, like they're good Minmins. They have so many of them, and the Japanese players get to practice with them so much that like it's basically impossible to fight good Japanese players with Minmin. And as they're becoming more like coming to the US more and kind of placing higher in events, I'm just like, I'm not going this character. I'm not going this character versus Akola's Steve. He literally knows how to zero death her consistently and like use the crafting table to block arms. So there's just a lot of situations, and inversely, I find a lot of the characters she's good versus to just not be as prevalent, I'd say. Like she's good for like swordy characters, but I just don't feel like you run into like a lot of like you have like you Spargo Shuton like using sword characters, but for the most part, I just don't run into sword characters in my brackets that often, or like very dedicated zoner characters that like she's kind of out zone.
Uh, I never see it that way. That makes sense. So it's really unfortunate that I play a swordy character. So you need to go Minmin against me. That's so sad.
uh, man,
but no, it's
honestly,
fine.
bro, I don't think I go Minmin versus you next time. It depends what I'm practicing at that moment, but I'm like my Minmin's kind of crusty right now. She's very hard to play. She's very unintuitive.
Yeah, like I can see it. She I guess it's the same as hard to play as the same as hard to play against.
Yeah, because it's like she's so obnoxious to fight because she's just it looks like to you you're like she's just pressing buttons and you have to deal with full screen buttons, and that is true. But then like she has to deal with I gotta cover all these angles at once. I have to move with really weird controls because like moving with her and like swinging is so awkward due to how her A and B buttons like tilts that she can move with, along with the fact that her mobility isn't great, and then like she just controls really weird because even like her normal buttons don't space like normal Smash characters. So you don't. It's like every other DLC character in Fighters Pass 2 where you're not really playing normal Smash when you play her.
I see. Fuck Minmin,
Yeah,
bro.
she's very good. I'm not gonna say she's not really good or anything or obnoxious. That much I know she is.
Yeah,
It's just it's not easy to like dual main her.
yeah, for sure. She's a unique character for sure. But the boss, I'm sorry to like mention this because I don't know like you're taking it, but you finally won a major, right? At CEO 2023, beating Riddles,
Mhm.
but how like like you're the second place king, right?
Yeah.
So and you finally won this. So like what's your take? Are you gonna look forward to be the first place king?
I mean, I'm trying my best. So the way I see it right now is I had a really difficult year when it comes to Smash Bros. For like the second half of 2022, first half of 2023, I was just struggling. So I'm just happy to actually be doing decently for once instead of just getting farmed nonstop. Like I had like too many people I just couldn't beat. I had no idea where to improve with any of my characters in a significant way. So it's like right now I'm on a pretty good uphill climb. Right now I'm figuring out a lot of shit, and like every time I lose, I'm like, there's a lot to learn from when I lose, but like, I know where to work on like actively right now. So I have a pretty good chance, I think, for the rest of the year to like really mess up some brackets. I'll say that much. Like I was playing light and friendlies at SmashCon, who normally farms me in friendlies, like farms me in bracket, farms me in friendly, and I just 6-0'd him in friendlies with Rosa Fox, and I'm like, that was good. I was destroying like SkyJ and Andres in friendlies as well at SmashCon, just like doing all the stuff I've been labbing. So I'm like, I am feeling really good at my play. I know where to work on. I'm finally like really understanding like just how to play Rosa in particular, and seeing that she has a lot I can push towards, even if she's not like a good character. She's not a good character because she's really hard to work with. But like I'm getting all the shit down 5 years in after my trip to Japan. So yeah, I think I can finally start taking more first place. I mean, I got second Smash Con, which sucks. It's second, but it's also beating really good players, including players I thought I'd lose to. And then like running not even a matchup knowledge check, but like an adaptation check versus Akola, where like he figured out some adjustments in the matchup that I wasn't ready for. And I'm like, I gotta lab out and see how to beat that stuff. But like I didn't feel like I played bad. I feel like I just didn't have the knowledge needed at that moment. And that happens, sometimes you run into a situation, it's like you don't have the knowledge, and it's just like, okay, I didn't choke, I didn't throw, I didn't just play bad or get nervous. So, it happens. And yeah, the CO win was pretty cool. People call it not a major, and I always tell people, even if it technically wasn't a major, it was a major event with like wins that would be fit winning a major. So I'm like, fuck yeah, we
Yeah,
got it. We finally won a big event.
it's definitely a major, bro. But I guess the next question I go for you is like, did it remove some pressure from you, like going forward to other tournaments? Because I know you did like second place at the SmashCon, which looked great. Like I was watching some of the games, and I mean, you played out of your mind. So it looks like it kind of like it slowed you down, but
Yeah.
like in a good way. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely helped relieve some pressure for me. Just like some of that, like, oh my god, I need to do well. I'm tired of not doing well. 100%. It's always annoying to hear people say, "Oh, he hasn't won a big event. He doesn't like he never like finishes first." And it's like, all right, nope, I finished first at a big event. 500 people beat multiple top 50 PGR players. Like, yeah, no, it's really nice to be able to point to that and say that belt right over there. Oh, you can't see it right now. It's like that
I don't
belt.
think we can see it.
Oh, it's like
You got the belt?
oh no, this belt's so cool. It's like, yeah, bro, I have this belt.
No,
Okay, this is all the
damn.
validation I need.
That's hype.
But yeah, so definitely going to future events. I'm less like, well, I really want to win this. I'm like, I'll just play as well as I can. If I do well, cool. If not, oh well.
Damn, I love those belts. Not to flex, but I got two of them.
Cool. You have two of them? Oh yeah. No, it's one of my favorite trophies.
Yeah, but this looks cooler because I think it's white, right? They changed the design.
Yeah. It's like the white gold with like hints of like blue and red. It's so cool.
It looks nice. I like it.
I wish it was like I could wear this, but if I ever become like Jack, like a giant bodybuilder, then I can wear this. Right now,
I mean, you should go off the bus. But okay,
I'm trying slowly but surely.
Yeah. I want to know about. I know you've been one of the few players that have been in this match scene for the longest time. You basically been there since Brawl, right? Since the Brawl days. So I kind of want to talk to you about your Smash history. I guess you've seen it all already, and like, I guess it will be very cool. So, tell me a little bit about the early Smash career.
So Brawl days was interesting, right? Because that's where I started. But I was mostly a Wi-Fi warrior, and I was like a shit talking Wi-Fi warrior. Like I'd be like telling people like I'm gonna beat your ass online. Like that was going game facts for all those Brawl. Like that all those Brawl is dead nowadays. I don't think anyone uses game facts anymore. And like we would matchmake using threads. Like someone would be like, hey, we're doing matchmaking thread. If you want to play a match, just short. You have to type down. You go for a response. It wasn't live chat back then, like super early Brawl days. And since online didn't have a 1v1 matchmaking built in, you had to go onto these forum sites. I had random forums I'll go into that no one's ever heard of, like Global Smash Federation, and matchmake and find tournaments for like a $20 like Wii gift shop card there. And because I also couldn't go to offline events often, I was near a few of them, but like, my parents were not. They didn't trust strangers, understandable, but they were very much like keep me under like a rock. Like if they're not like watching me, like don't let me go like to an event with like all these people they don't know. It took a lot of convincing to do that, but as a result, like the first 2 years of Brawl, I would very rarely get to go to the locals in my area. If DK Will in particular was picking me up because I convinced my mom to like trust the dude and blah blah blah, and even then it'd be very rare. Like I'd be home by 10 o'clock. I got a caller and texter, all that stuff, and then honestly, she wasn't strict with being home by 10 o'clock. She just said that because she wanted to like act tough, but really. I was just kind of like winning the online brackets all the time, the ladders for game battles, always Brawl. It wasn't until I started lying to my parents that I actually started going to more events regularly. No, like seriously, because like at some point, and I remember this. I remember I couldn't go to many locals and stuff. Like, and then I remember Brood comes from Japan, mains Olimar, gets second at Apex, loses to Larry Lair who gets first. And I remember seeing this, and I was pissed. Do you want to know why I was pissed? Brood got second. As an Olimar player at Apex.
Why?
Because I was better than him. I was watching his play, and I was thinking, if this guy can get second at a major at Apex, beating all these players, and I know for a fact I'm watching him play, I am better than him. I make better decisions. I have better execution. This guy sucks. If I could actually go to events more, I would be farming everyone. So you know what I did? I started lying to my mom about everywhere I'd go. Like, hey, I'm going to Vinny's place for a tournament. I'm just going to the plane trade 30 minutes away. And then I'd be going to like New York City or like New Jersey, Philly. I actually flew to Texas without my parents knowing. Straight up. I told my parents I was going to Vinny's for a few days for like a sleepover and practice Smashy Bros. And I flew to Texas. So that was when I started going to a lot more events. And then for a short period of time, I was number one on the New York, New Jersey PR over like Vinny, Nairo, Mewtwo King, ADHD. Once I started doing that more regularly. And I was pretty much a mainstay, like top 5, top 10 player on the PR while I was active in the scene from that point forward. But yeah, it was really all because I was like,
wow, this is... your parents.
Well, legit, like my parents, they're great. Love them. But they are overly protective to a point where if I didn't do that, I would just be like sheltered forever. Like they were. And you know what it is? Because my two older brothers were troublemakers. They didn't want a third troublemaker in the family. So they were like, all right, we're gonna not let this kid go out without our like permission and everything to avoid dealing with the nonsense again. But yeah, so that was my history of Brawl. I ended up quitting Brawl around like 2012, I think. So like 4 years after its release, about 2 years after I started playing more actively and like, you know, kicking everyone's ass. Like I was one of the few players with a positive record on Zero, positive record on Mewtwo King and ADHD. Like people I couldn't beat in the region were like Nairo and Anti. But yeah, I ended up quitting. Once it got to a point where like everyone was just playing Icy's Meta Knight and it was super unfun. So like every bracket's like a 20-person bracket, like 2 hours away from me, where I get double limited by ice climbers, and I'm like, I'm good on this one. This is no longer fun. I like playing the game. You think Kazuya is bad? Imagine getting hit on a platform at 0 by an ice climber neutral air, and it causes you to fall off the platform, comboing into a grab that kills you. And imagine that on a character with disjoints and a projectile lingering hitbox that freezes you. And built-in combo breaks because it's two characters. It was actual torture. It was like, I don't know how the hell any of us played the game for so long.
Dude, I'm not like I was not playing competitive Smash in Brawl days, but like I remember like talking about the characters, seeing the characters. I even remember watching Apex, like when I didn't used to compete. And dude, I always ask the same question, like, why do people play this? And like, I know it's a Smash, and like just going back to it, I only played it for like 2 years. Like, dude, yeah, like that, like Meta Knight, Ice Climbers, even Olimar. I remember Olimar having like seven pigments, like more than 5 pigments.
Yep. His up smash was better than pre-patch up smash and ultimate. Like faster startup, less end lag, more range, and about the same combo ability. And that was just like in the game as like a normal thing that wasn't even like broken relative to the cast. I will say, outside of Ice Climbers, and I always say this, it's a really fun game. Even though Meta Knight's bullshit. He's bullshit in the way that, you know, like when Ultimate released and like Wolf was like bullshit, but it's like it's not unfun to fight, it's just overtuned. That was kind of like Meta Knight, where it's like this is overtuned. It's really dumb, especially if Mewtwo King's timing you out by gliding under the stage. But like it's still like fun game. Like that's a fun character to fight for the most part. Every other character besides Icy's is fun to fight in their own ways. Brawl is a really interesting and fun game. Mm-hmm. It's just everything's really disgustingly broken. But I think that's the charm of it, is that every character that's good is like, why is this allowed?